What's good, gang? What's good? I appreciate the love on the videos that I've been putting out so far. I appreciate you guys. Shout out to all of you, man, that have been liking, watching, commenting. Man, you guys are the best, man. Apparently, some of you guys are actually sharing this stuff too.
Oh my God! Wow!
I couldn't feel more loved, man. So, let's get straight into it. Right. What park do we used to work with? I know he's all the way down, not this one. Okay, yeah, this is the park. This is giving way like, oh, this is old school kind of trap. Like, I'm not feeling it, bro. Nah, yes, that's it, man. Oh, it's even long. Haha, yeah, so cool.
Yeah, boy.
I should be able to cook with this. Yeah. Tell me what it was, dog. Tell them no, man, the nigga, man, the love, dog. Yeah, they say, man, what the movie, and the other, dog. Yeah, the little dog is over, man, the dog. That's another opinion outside. Send a woman for the center, but I heard the nice dice, but I don't know what it is I'm saying now. I'm just freestyling on this shit. Oh, my there you go. Yeah, well, they said they go. Can't make it, let me go. And there's a lot of shit, boy, if I nigga, let me go. I miss some doing the ghost, I nigga, let me know. I make the work, when it's in it, man, I get me go. Hell lie, even the whole lie. Yeah, they missing them down, and the whole man, bigger than the whole life, and the whole life. And they missing them, like, I think I just mumbles up some shit, but I can hear the flow, so we should be able for a rapper to actually kill this without much hesitation. You know how we always arrange your stuff, but now if you don't, but yeah, I always like always having my bass, like, as I don't know, the bass sound can you say something about low frequencies and how it affect our spirituality? That's why he always, I think he had this concept in mind when he made 808 and a break, because he was talking extensively on 808. I can't remember what year the interview was, but yeah. Haha. It's not mixed now, but you can hear how he's already giving like the source to the beat, you know. So I don't even want this to even come in here. I want this coming here. I don't know if I should make it 8 or wait. How many bars is this supposed to be? If we do this, these are always used to calculate. This is 4 bars. This is 4 bars. That's 8. This is another 8. So this is 16 bars. Yeah, the rap out with 16 bars is fine. I don't want to make this thing unnecessarily long, you know. Okay, so they give you the kick to repeat and then and again, gentlemen, oh yeah, yo, yeah, yeah. So the man and no night. So the man and no night. So the you staring at ain't said about the world. Ain't got a man in the world. How did that me get a very hard? How did when it's on the wood, how did I do? Yeah, we done with it, bro. Should be, pretty straightforward. We need to save this cardinal rule. Always remember, facts. Facts. Yeah. All right. So we're done with the structure, the arrangement on how this should go. So it's just to start mixing and maybe adding some fuse. I don't even want to add any sound because this sound choice, this sound selection enough is decent for me. Maybe I should just even start mixing, I don't want to make this video as long as it should. I just want to be done with this. I want to hear. No, this is not the one that we need. I think the one that we need is the other piano sound. I shall need to not go, but yeah, that's the main sound we need. Okay, maybe I should even, you know what? Because I'm not even feeling the way this bass is not there. Maybe do this. Maybe like create the rest so that they feel okay, yeah. See, I feel like drums are really overrated, man. Even though you add sauce to your song, to your beat, I feel like they are overrated. If you are feeling like drums shouldn't go on it, man, go your guts, man, and make that art, make that piece of music without drums, and it will slap. It will slap way better than if you try to force drums in. So first of all, this I need to be feeling this bass in my soul. You get me, fam? I need to be feeling this bass in my soul. So anytime I like, so this is my mindset. Anytime I want to tackle mixing, I think I explained to some guys, probably Stony as well. Um, think about this way: when you want to mix, when you want to tackle mixing, think about it like you want to clean your house, right? The first thing that you have to do is to clear out the furniture so that you can have room to properly sweep, dust, whatever it is you want to do, and like now move back in the furniture. So basically, that's how I do. That's how I tackle mixing, right? So when I want to start maybe jacking up some frequencies or removing some bad frequencies that I don't like, the first thing I always do is like always turn down the volume knob, which is this like I don't want to say gain, but this like the volume knob on that channel first, so that when I start amplifying and removing, I know that I'm just only affecting the dynamics of that sound. If I try to boost the sound up with compression and whatever it is, the volume knob is still where it is, but the sound will get louder because it is the dynamics that have affected now, not the main sound. Even though I'm touching the main sound as well. But the main thing that is the source of that sound is the dynamics of that sound. So that's how you should tackle this, man. So it's the same compression. Don't worry, I'll show you what compression. I'll explain compression to you in like 30 seconds and you get the whole concept. No 30-minute or 1 hour tutorial or 10-minute tutorial about compression is going to explain compression the way I'll explain compression to you. You get it in 30 seconds. Do you see how loud it's getting? So this is it without, still at the same, I did not affect the, see, if you look at it, it's 77% there on the volume. Now it's on. It's still at the same level, still on 77%. So that's basically what I'm talking about when I say dynamics, man. Dynamics. So let me explain compression to you real quick. Now think about it this way. Let's say you have a table or you have a stool or whatever it is. And obviously you'll be taller than that table, you'll be taller than that stool. But you want to try to go underneath. You oftentimes are not, you'll notice that you have to bend or force your way to go underneath, to be under the table or to be under the bed. Basically, that's what compression is. Compression is you set a ceiling, right? You set a ceiling and say, at this level, any sound that is going past this level, I want you to cut it off. Now, the type of compression that you will now determine what type of compression you want to do. But in a nutshell, it's basically you're telling the compression that at this level, cut whatever sound that is going to be bigger than this level or taller than this level. I want you to cut it off. Now, how much you cut it or how fast you cut it is the type of compression that you start wanting to learn about. That's when you start hearing words like parallel compression, soft compression, knee compression, whatever it is. All those kind of things, man. But in a nutshell, you're just basically telling it at this level, cut whatever I want, the sound I want. Now, you might want to cut it hard, like cut it off completely, or you might want to cut it and still have like a little bit of transit, still evident in the music, still evident in that particular sound. You understand? That's it. You might want to do it and have different levels where this particular signal from this other sound is what is cutting or what is triggering the compression on this other sound that you set compression on. It's just different levels, but it's just the same concept of whatever sound that is over this, cut it off. Bam. Easy. That's compression. That's compression basically in a nutshell. So look at this now. For instance, imagine this is your table or your stool, and you're taller than this. You have to bend down to go underneath, right? If you cannot, so that's basically the sound level too. Imagine I set the ceiling like this, and whatever sound is here, cut it off. Now how fast or how hard I want it to be cut off is now dependent on me. So that kind of compression is what people now look like. Oh, you did a soft compression, you did that compression and stuff like that. You understand? You don't need to. It's not really that complicated, man. All these things that I'm sharing to you actually took me 6 years to get. But once I got it, I was like, you know what? It's actually quite easy. Why was it now so hard for me to get it all these years? It was because of the fact that I was always watching tutorials and not doing, right? And that's it. So let's say I want to set compression. There's no compression happening on this, right? But let's say I want to set compression. You can see this blue line, and I'm trying to set the ceiling to this point. Now still there's no compression happening, even though I've set the ceiling to this point. What then do we do? So basically what you need to worry yourself on is threshold, ratio, attack, release, sustain, not so much, but attack, even though too not so much like that. The main parameters is the threshold, ratio. I can open another. I like using that floating limiter compressor because it's like a visual compressor that I always, okay, this is what it's actually doing. It's the same thing too. This is not a non-visual compression, but you can see it's the same parameters: threshold, ratio, gain. This makeup gain is, let's say you understand, we'll get to that level. But threshold, ratio, attack, release, can you see? Like, it doesn't even have sustain self. This one has sustain. This just attack and release. This one does not have sustain. So you can see when I'm saying what type of hard, soft, whatever it is. So you don't even need to bother yourself about that. You just know that, oh, when you said this, oh, okay, maybe it's cutting it hard or it's cutting it soft. Basically, that's what that term is. So I've set my cylinder at this point, cut out whatever unworked frequencies that I want. Then now there's no compression happening. Even though I've set my ceiling, and that's it. Now the next thing that will make it to happen is the ratio. Now ratio is when you know, I told you compression types, you have hard, soft, right? So the ratio is basically what even determines how the compressor is acting, if it's acting hard or it's acting soft. So let's say I set this to ratio 2:1. You see what is going to start happening. Can you see? It's already taking out some frequency. See, if you look at, let me zoom this in. Now, can you see? I set the ceiling to this point, right? But it's still allowing some frequencies, to still, even though they're above the line, above the ceiling that I've set, to still be evident. But it's now taking out some peaks. So you can see this purple line is what is taking out, right? Can you see? Let's do this. Let's max out the ratio. Can you see how hard it's cutting it now? See where the peak of this is and where the highest peak of this. Let's use the third one. Since we are using the third one, see where it is. That's where this is. Right. Let's even go crazy. Can you see now? It's even longer. See this tail and see this tail. Can you see? Can you see how hard it's cutting? So basically, this kind of compression that you've done hard as fuck. Do you get? It's hard as fuck. So yeah, I don't want this kind of because I still want the sibilance and the dynamics of the sound to still be evident in the mix. So I usually use 2:1. So I use 2:1 on sounds that I want to compress but not compress, get. So this is fine for me. Maybe I like give the knee like 25%, give or take. There's always this weird argument that I used to have with my engineer, music producer friends, and I tell them that you guys always love giving terms to people, especially upcoming guys that are just starting out in music or want to learn how to mix their vocals, their sound, their music and stuff. And you guys start giving them templates, blueprints, and telling them, "Oh, this is your music mix cheat map or something," and you say, "Oh, the kick should always be at a certain dB and have certain compression at certain dB." I'm like, bro, that doesn't work. I even laugh at artists that even go as far as buying vocal presets, expecting to sound like Kendrick Lamar. What the fuck? Imagine buying a Tyler the Creator preset and expecting to sound like Tyler the Creator. There's no way you can sound like Tyler the Creator. You understand? Those presets were done. Those mixing chain was done because of Tyler's Creator's unique voice. So it was mixed according to the way his voice was recorded at the time. Right? So it is unique, and that's why you cannot have another person singing or sounding like Tyler the Creator, for instance. It's not possible. It is his voice is unique to himself. Maybe the person might be singing in a style, maybe do beat in a style, have his cadence in a style, but sound like him. No, never. It can't work. You get me? So, and every music and every sound is unique. It's unique. For instance, this is a kind of chill beat. So you don't expect when I'll see a cheat map and they'll say, "Oh, the kick should be at a certain level so that it can be punching." The kick doesn't really need to be eating as much in this kind of chill beat, man. You understand what I'm saying? It's meant to be the melodies, the chords that are meant to be significant in the mix, not even the kick. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you mix according to the scenario and the situation you found yourself in. But you can't start doing that if you programmed your mind to follow this cheat map that these other established engineers are sharing out or pumping out as presets for you to buy. You are just shooting yourself in the foot, man. You are shooting yourself in the foot. This is mixing. See, I thank God so much that music is part of the arts. Like, it's part of the arts, it's not science. Because assuming music was science based, everybody will be sounding the same. Everybody will be sounding the same, and the average listener will get bored listening to music because everybody will be sounding to the same. Because you at that point, will not start following a certain proven formula that works. A certain formula that works. Like, it's sad, man. It's sad that these guys. That's why I don't even how do I put it? I don't follow the advice of established mixing engineers that much. The only time I'm like, oh, okay, this guy actually says something that makes sense. Oh, I did not know that I could actually be doing this. That's when I listen to the advice. But when they start saying DB at a certain point, or your chord should always be this, or your kick should always be punching through the mix. Nah, I don't follow those kind of advice, man. They are established, right? But I don't follow that kind. I don't follow those advice. I mix according to what I like, what makes sense to my ear at the time. I might listen to that stuff later. I'm like, yo, this stuff is sounding like shit. Like, why didn't I mix it well? But at the time, if it makes sense to me while I'm in the process of it, I do it, man. I fucking go with it, man. I don't follow the advice that much. You understand? Because I only follow the advice that are very, very unique and like significant to me. That I'm like, okay, I should actually put this in my own workflow, my own process. Basically, that's it. That's fucking it, man. So this gain, I'll show you something about ceiling. I'm not sure, but some other compressor should have this. But this ceiling, basically, what it does is like, since I've got it right now, right, this ceiling helps me to jack up the dynamics. You know why I said something about dynamics? It helps us to judge the dynamics of this particular sound. So it will be like it is there, like it's the main sound, but no, you've already increased the dynamics. So in the background of the whole music, this sound will be evident because you've increased the dynamics of the particular sound. So we need a makeup gain because obviously when you compress, you lose some amount of volume. So you need to make up for that volume that you've lost with this makeup gain. So it restores it back to where it was before. Okay, so I think we are cool with that. We're cool with compressor. See, as I waffled so much talking about compressor. Why is this like this? Nah, this is why I don't always like increasing, or I always like it in that default, yeah, like this, because I want to see other things. Because when I'm just saying only this, I'll get bored. Okay, so this is fine. That's fine. So you see me do this a lot. This I'm trying to widen the stereo of the sound. So stereo basically is, obviously if you are watching this, you not be new to music and in engineering, so you should know what stereo and mono is. But for those of you that are new to this and don't know what stereo and mono is, basically just think of it this way. Mono is just one sound that is just going through, it's just coming out from just one channel or one source or one output source. While stereo splits your sound from one source to two, so you have the left and right. Sometimes you might even have mid side too in your stereo too. So basically it has helped you to split it now to make it be more louder and stuff. That's how I can explain in the lamest way possible. But basically, yeah, that's what stereo and mono is in a nutshell. So most devices that have been produced now have stereo speakers. Back in the day, phones used to have just one speaker, that's a mono speaker, but now they're having stereo speakers, so it makes your sound more distinct. You'll have more better sounding quality and stuff like that, you understand? So I always like to separate my stereo, like make that stereo wider. Basically, that's what stereo separation is like. I'm making that sound wider so that it will be full. If you are listening to it on your left side, earpiece, earbud, headphone, whatever it is, it will sound the same on the right side as well. You understand? The same richness, the same distinction in terms of sound. So this also needs if you must have seen this, you see that I always like to fuck with ROM reverb a lot. Yeah, I like this reverb plugin ever since I think this was one plugin that I saw on maybe Ulan Jello's session. I saw him use this plugin. I need to get this plugin. This is what I'm talking about, that does some things that I'll just speak from these people. I'm like, you know what, I actually need to get this. But 75% of the things that they say I don't follow because I have a mind of my own. I know the kind of heart I want to make, you understand? I like this reverb plugin a lot, bro. Increase the size. Can you see? This is how it's just there. It's just there. The sound is just there, just dry sounding. Now this is it with the reverb, you understand? See, the tail is still there, like it's still wet, so everything will sound so. Oh god damn it, bro. One thing too that I used to do back in the day, one mistake I used to do is on the channel when I had the compression, I had my EQ. Sometimes I don't even EQ as much like I used to because of that new plugin that I got, Virtual Mix Rack, where it does as this plugin. This plugin. So this is a compressor. This is the EQ. There's usually two EQs. I always like using this EQ better because of the color it gives the sound. It's an old school EQ. This is also another compression. This is another compression. You can no. This is the EQ. So you have the shimmer. The shimmer is basically increasing the high end to like the mid frequency. Then this low end, from low mid to low end frequency, jacks it up. So basically, this also acts like an EQ. You understand? When you just see things like that and you say, oh, okay, if I jack this up, this is what is increasing. You already know in your head, like this is what this is. Because when you are mixing, right, the most important plugins that should come to mind is the EQ, compression. Every other thing follows. But EQ, compression, if you can master that, man. So every other thing follows based on your own creative taste. Some people like to use reverb, some don't like to use reverb, some like to even use reverb and a delay at some point. You'll see me sometimes use reverb and delay on some certain sound. So all that is just creative, that is unique creativity to you. You get. Yeah, I'm cool with the sound. Let's take out all the effects. So you saw how they were sounding before. It's just there sounding. You understand? Just there sounding. So that's it. The next thing is the kick. I just found out this plugin like 2-3 years ago. Before, I used to use compression and EQ whatnot to always make my kick be evident in the mix, but ever since I found this plugin, it's a stock plugin on the FL Studio. Ever since I found this plugin, my life has never remained the same. I always fucking love using this plugin on all my lower end sounds. So you need to be careful sometimes too, because it just jacks up everything. It doesn't like pick a particular frequency of the kick to jack up. It just jacks up everything. So now that I've slapped it on, you can see the kick has gone from that linear, that single motion. Now it has spread. It's not like now round sounding like you. I don't know how to explain this shit, man. So you can hear the ping. Maybe it's because of this other sound. Like, can hear bim bim, like it's eating once and there's no transients like that at the end. But now instead of it to give us that bim, with this it will not make it sound round. Can you see? Can you hear the difference? Now, so while he's doing that, and he's also boosting the kick, but it had made it round, so I'll slap a VMR on it, virtual mix rack, to like just, so this is what I'll say, like these two EQs, you can see high frequency, high mid frequency, low frequency. It's just basically the same thing, but I always love using this more. I don't know why. So I just need this kick also needs to have a low mid and jack up the main gain, the makeup gain. It will sound too loud now. Now can you see I sounding without the effect? Wait. So we're already wasting so much time on the mixing process. But I want you guys to actually understand that mixing is not that hard, bro. It's not that hard. It's as simple as beat making. If you just know what you're doing, what you want to do. So let me test your knowledge. What this sound that you're listening to now, what part of frequency do you think will need to be boosted so that it will be evident in the mix? It's definitely not the low end, whatever it is. Definitely not the high end. So I've given you the best clue possible. It's definitely not the low end, and it's definitely not the high end. You just need to understand how sounds work. So if I don't know, if you guys want to learn like one-on-one private coaching and mixing, I'm down, man. Just let me know in the comments. So you just need to understand what sounds sound like. So for instance, if I do something like a shh, particular sounds that are associated to what I just did now, I can say, oh, okay, maybe it's a frying sound, it's a sizzling sound, or I can say maybe it's white noise, or I can say it's a TV screeching, low, no frequency, or I can say no frequency on the radio, because these are sounds that have shh, all of these white noise, that all of these iron sound like shh. Sometimes your vocals in the sometimes your vocals too might pick up shh. That's when you start hearing the S in, because the S this has that I end in it, so that's when you start seeing people, you start hearing people saying they're DSing and whatnot. So you just need to know what sound like. If I do so it could be a gen sound that has been muffled, or it could be a rumble in the frequency. There are different sounds that you can associate to this particular, because what you just need to understand is every sound in this world, right, add like always in a particular frequency. It is how it is. You cannot expect a kick to have a high end sound unless there's an high end element that has been attached to it, that kick sound. That's when you start hearing high end in it. You understand? Kick naturally are low end based. Bass naturally are low end based. You understand? So that's basically it. You basically just need to understand what sound like. We've increased it though. That's why it's like that. See how it is before. On this one, since it has that reverb on it from the sample itself, I'll slap reverb in the same channel, because there's really nothing I can do about that. So listening to this now, what frequencies do you think we should jack up to, Maybe a little bit of low end. just slap a transient on this. Don't need the VMR. This is supposed to act like a ear candy. It's a pluck sound, so it's supposed to act like a ear candy. Maybe do like a delay so that so that the tail just keeps going. So the vocal now is dead. We need to fix that vocal sample. And this is basically it. It's not that hard, man. Music is not that hard, bro. Maybe it just took me years of doing the same thing over and over and over, so I've gotten used to it, and I'm saying it's not hard. But basically, it's not hard. I wish I had somebody like me teaching me how to make music when I first started out making music. I could have gone way further than I am now, you know. Obviously, it needs a reverb. So let me explain reverb to you guys quickly so that you will not you not be confused, right? Reverb basically is so there are different kinds of reverb. There's a plate reverb, there's a conversion reverb, there are tons of reverb, right? But what you just need to understand is the three parameters on any reverb plugin that you see that you always need to always touch or handle is the mix, the decay, and the size. If I open up that where is it? The stock plugin reverb, you see it's basically it has even look at this now. So the size, where is it? Size, low cut, low cut. Basically what low cut is that you're trying to tell it that you should cut all the low, because reverb also naturally when you slap a reverb on a particular sound, it brings some unwanted frequencies to that sound. Usually most of the time the frequencies are always lingering in the low end. That's why there's always this cardinal rule in mixing that you don't put reverb on your kick or on your bass, because it will now make it sound so super muddy because of that low end that reverb brings to a sound naturally that it does. So this is why you always see low cut, you slap low cuts, like okay, cut out that low additional frequency that you've bought. Word signal is basically, I think this word signal is supposed to be this mix, but it's super straightforward. This mix is the amount of the intensity of the how you want the plug and how you want the reverb to act. So if I set it at 50%, all these parameters, if I jack them up, all of them will just be acting as 50% of the plugin's output. But if I set it to like 80 or 100, it will act at optimal. You understand? So basically, that's what mix is about. So if you see mix on any other plugin, that's what it's trying to tell you, that okay, I'm going to be jacking out whatever you set in the plugin at 80%, so it will be evident. If I don't want them to be really evident, I can do it like 50% or 30%. You understand? That's what basically mix is about. Decay is how long you want that reverb to still keep on sounding for. So a particular sound can sound and that's it. But a particular sound can sound so if like so you would have done then you now start hearing even after the initial had been done. Understand? So that's what decay will elongate that tail of the reverb. So how much you send the decay is evident on you. You understand? Basically, so the size too is how so think of reverb are meant to be spreading the frequencies. You understand? You're meant to be spreading the frequencies. So size is now how you want that spread to be. Do you want it to be enclosed? Do you want it to be spread all the way? You understand? So there are some reverbs, for instance. Now you cannot increase the decay of reverb on vocals, for instance, except if you are doing that on ad lib or doubles or background vocals. But on the main vox, you can't increase the decay because the reverb is supposed to make the voice sound like the voice is right in your face, like the person that is singing, that performed that song, is right in front of you and is singing, right? So that's what that reverb with enclosed decay is supposed to do. But if you want to increase the decay, you are trying to telling the reverb to, like, you know what, spread the way this reverb is going. All these things that I've been saying, someone else that is actually much more experienced than me will know how to explain this better, or even tackle me. I will say I'm explaining shit, but this is how I've been able to teach myself. What the fuck did I just do now? Okay, this is how I've been able to teach myself on how to mix better. I think, yeah. So now, with all the mix we've done, let's take out every fucking thing that we've done on everything. I'm okay with this mix like this, like I'm satisfied because it's a beat, right? It's not meant to be, not meant to do so much. Rapper is still going to jump on this. He's still going to put his main vox. He's still going to put his background vox. He's still going to put his doubles at some point. He's still going to put his ad libs. You understand? So I don't need to do too much because it will make it harder for the engineer to actually balance all the sounds well, because there are just too much things going on. This is sounding before. Let's start increasing. You start hearing the effect of everything. See, that's the bass. That's the keys. This is the kick. Piano. Super simple, bruv. I think we need a little bit of percussion, to give it like this. Let's see. If nothing goes, I'll just scrap it. Okay. It sounds like something that should go. I'm having doubts though, but it sounds like something that should go. 159. these are the sounds I like using to like add texture. You always see me always add all those. I'll call them ambient sounds, man. Like to make it add texture, man. You know, don't just sound bland. Like these I've been able to like maybe. on with this. But yeah, I think let's get someone who's gonna jump on this shit and drop one or two vibes. Drop one or two vibes. So yeah, we've come to the end of this shit. Let me hear what you guys think. Yeah, I hope you guys were able to learn something today, even though I was waffling for most of the time. But yeah, I'll see you all in the next one. Stay jiggy. What? How many? Oh Jesus, we spent 1 hour 4 minutes on this. Wow, I said I was not going to take long on this shit, but it's just what it's just how it is, bro. I'll see you on the next one. Stay safe, guys. Peace.